What's the best way to grow as a VTuber? Be everywhere. YouTube, TikTok, Shorts, Instagram, everything. But let's be real. Doing all of that on top of streaming? Exhausting. So I built a system that turns your streams into content fast. It works on any platform, and I'll be giving you all the custom code that I made for free. But only if you stick around to the end of the video, so let's get rolling. The first method relies on OBS and your PC to be strong enough to handle your normal stream load, plus one extra setting, replay buffer. The good news, it records locally, no quality loss. So if something great happens, you hit a button and it saves that to a file. The bad news is if your PC can't quite keep up, doesn't have enough memory, it's not going to work. But skip this if that's the case and check out the free method later on because it adds 0 extra PC load. In OBS, click Settings in the bottom right and then go to Output on the left. And if you're in simple mode, scroll all the way to the bottom and check Replay Buffer. If you're in Advanced, there's a Replay Buffer tab on the far right, and it's the same deal. Then choose how long you want it to keep everything in memory. 60 seconds for a minute, 120 for 2, etc. This part is up to you. Find the sweet spot between what you want and what your computer can handle. Want it to start automatically whenever you go live? Go to the General tab and under Output again, check off Automatically Start Replay Buffer when streaming. Prefer to control it manually? No problem. Just click Start Replay Buffer in the bottom right. Once it's running, a Save button will appear right next to it. You can bind both of these to hotkeys in OBS if that is more your style. But just remember, if that replay buffer isn't running, it can't save anything. To make this even easier, create a custom button on your Stream Deck or, like me, use Touch Portal. It's only $15 and turns your phone or tablet into a Stream Deck. Hashtag not sponsored, but Touch Portal call me. So in Touch Portal, tap in an empty spot and search for buffer to find the action called Set Replay Buffer State. And you can use this to start it, stop it, toggle it, or what we're after right now, which is save. If you want that on-off button too, you can just make another button and use those settings. If you're on a Stream Deck, it's pretty similar. First, install the Twitch add-on from their marketplace, and then search for buffer again, and add their version of this action. The bonus here is this gives you a clean version of your stream clip. And if you've set up multi-channel audio in OBS, it's even more powerful because you can cut out the music, replace it, isolate your voice, remove the sounds from a redeem, or split those tracks out any way you like for editing. So if you want a full walkthrough on how to set all that up, including how to play copyright music on Twitch without it ruining your edits, drop a comment that says audio video win. The less needy cousin of replay buffer is called Twitch marking. And no, not that kind of marking.
I have a mighty need to use the restroom once again.
And yeah, it is a Twitch only feature, but I fixed that later on with that freebie I mentioned at the start, so hear me out and stick around. Twitch's design wants you to use this manually by typing out \marker your notes here, and it's available to both you and your editors. But that again is very difficult to do if you're gaming and a mod's not around, so let's make it a button and then go further beyond.
Even further beyond!
And turn it into several buttons. You'll see what I mean in a moment. So back to Touch Portal, click wherever you want the button, and on the left, search marker. Drag that over and give it a name like General Oops for when things go wrong and you're caught in 4K, emotionally compromised, and possibly pantless.
Oh my.
Stream Deck's steps are similar to before. Get that Twitch plugin, search for marker, drag it in place, and fill out the stuff at the bottom. For both, before any of this can work, make sure you've linked your Twitch account up with either Touch Portal or Stream Deck. Now that we've enlisted General Oops to active duty, let's give him some soldiers to boss around by repeating the steps and changing the name, because you can create as many of these buttons as you want for whatever you find useful. Personally, beyond the good old General, I have buttons for TikTok, YouTube ideas, as well as stream ideas, and for things I need to fix later. Having all of these buttons is great, but do you know what's better? Delegating your laziness. So with the right chatbot, you can turn clipping into a community sport. Just make a command, something like !clip or !marker, and let your viewers timestamp the chaos for you. I use StreamerBot. It's powerful, flexible, and makes me feel like the Foxy overlord of automation.
Hear me! Ah!
I did check what other bots can do here, and it turns out not much. Only Nightbot has marker support, and even then, don't get too excited. It just swaps the slash marker for !point marker, and it lets your chat type whatever they want as the note. So, unless you're into surprise notes like butt cramp or screamed like a dying microwave, skip that one. But hey, you do you. Just don't come crying to me when your highlight reel includes clipped for court evidence at minute 37. To make the command, head over to Commands in StreamerBot, right-click and choose Add. Name it whatever you want, whatever fits your vibe. You can stack commands here too, so !clip and !marker can be lifelong besties, trauma bonded in your chat's questionable sense of humor. Also, set a cooldown unless you want your chat to speedrun your marker system like it's a rhythm game. Hit OK, then hop over to Actions to tell it what to do. Right-click in an empty space, select Add. Give it a name like Chat Note. It's kind of like Death Note, except you only die on the inside. And if you want to be organized, you can select an existing group or type in the name of a new one and hit OK. In Triggers, right-click and then go to Core, Commands, Command Triggered, and then pick the command you just made. Now, go to Sub-Actions, right-click again, and choose Twitch, Channel, Create Marker. So now that we've enlisted your chat into the clipping army, and given you all the buttons that you could ever hope to have, how do we actually use it all? Let's take a look at how Twitch lets you turn those moments into real highlights. Do you stream on Twitch or run a PC that's powered only by one overly caffeinated gerbil? Then this section's for you. After your stream, head over to your Twitch dashboard, and you might need to click the three little lines or the little arrow to open up the menu. But you're going to Content and then Video Producer. Find the stream that you just marked up and click the highlight button on the far right. Inside, you're going to see some vertical lines that are marking up the timeline, both chevrons and clapperboards. The arrows, they're your markers, and those clappy things from TV and movies, those are your clips. You might also see some numbers if a lot happened in close proximity to each other. You can hover on them for some notes, and you can also zoom in or out in the bottom left to get more detail. And now you could absolutely directly edit here on Twitch, and they give you the tools for that. But remember, I promised you a faster way, a smarter way, a more chaos-proof way, and we're almost there, so hang tight. Alright, Twitch is great and all, but what if you're streaming somewhere else? Or you just want a backup plan in case that marker feature goes down? So let's get nerdy. We're going to log your markers straight to your computer. So tools like Touch Portal, StreamerBot, or Streamer Deck with a third-party plugin that allows you to write files can do all of this. And yeah, sure, you could write a separate file for every single time this is triggered, like some kind of caveman on a TRS-80, but let's use some big brain energy here, and instead, make a searchable spreadsheet. All of your best moments, fully indexed, chef's kiss.
Perfect, perfect, and perfect.
I tested a few setups. Touch Portal can grab the basics, time, date, some OBS info, and yeah, it works. But to satisfy the chaotic little spreadsheet gremlin that lives in my skull rent-free, I had to bust out StreamerBot and do a little coding. But don't worry, I'm not going to drag you through every line of logic because this is the moment that I've been promising since the start of the video. Well, at least the first one. There's a second one later on that's going to help you supercharge your content flow, so stay tuned for that one. But I started a Ko-Fi shop, and the first thing that I'm going to be offering is my marker system. It creates the Twitch markers and does all the complex stuff that's going to enable you to log to either a spreadsheet, a text file, or both. And all you have to do is edit 3 things at the top and show it where you want the files to live. And all of this for the low price of free. But tips are always appreciated, and it'll certainly encourage me to offer more in the future. But make sure you're in a good place first before donating. Just live by those airplane rules. Take care of yourself first. And it's also flexible enough to be duplicated as many times as you need, and you can easily use it as a chat trigger or as a button from your Stream Deck, Touch Portal, or any device that integrates with StreamerBot. And here's what the output looks like in the files. The date, the stream time, the record time, the stream title, the note for the marker, and who it is who triggered it. And I included record time here because you might be recording or you might be streaming and recording. And if you're doing both, let's say you start streaming 9 minutes ago and then right before you switch to your main screen, you hit record, those timestamps are going to be off. And I wanted to save you counting on your fingers and doing some mental math. So 2 different timestamps for you to look at depending on what file you're going for. And if you're wondering how I turn all this into actual clips, well, don't worry, we're almost there. You've got markers, you've got timestamps, and you've got beautifully organized files. Now brace yourself, it's time for that final freebie. So let's say that you're not recording locally. So how do you get those moments out of your VODs and onto your hard drive? Enter Twitch Downloader, a free, open source, and surprisingly powerful little tool. Link for the download is in the description. Open it up and click on VOD Downloader. Paste in your Twitch VOD link, hit Get Info, and it'll pull all the stream details, including duration. Now here's where the magic happens. In the trim section, set the start and end times for the moment that you want to grab. To do this, let's use either the spreadsheet timestamps or the Twitch video producer to find the right time codes. Once done, click download and boom, you've just saved yourself a buttload of time scrubbing through a 4-hour stream. There's also a clip downloader if you want to pull individual Twitch clips, or if you hit task queue and then use either search VODs or search clips, you can batch download multiples at once. Once it's downloaded, you can toss it directly into your editor, post it straight to socials, or throw it into your best of folder for future content farming. Easy, clean, and fast, just the way we like our edits. And if you don't stream to Twitch at all, there are some similar web-based tools out there if you just search around. And for fellow tech gremlins, there are some command line only options too. Covering all of them would make this video way too long, so if you want a separate video breaking all of these options down on grabbing clips from other platforms, drop a comment and let me know. I hope this made your content workflow easier. The StreamerBot tools that I made are free on Ko-Fi right now, and tips are welcome, but only if you're in a good place. Airplane safety rules. Want to hang out? Ask some questions or vibe with other VTubers? Join the Foxhole Discord. QR is on the screen and link is in the description. And if this helped, drop a like, subscribe, or share this with a fellow gremlin. This encourages me to keep making more videos. And until next time, my Kitsujin, stay foxy.